Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about Gabbie Hanna and some of the antics that she's been up to, particularly the new tattoo that she has, which is a collection of bugs down the center of her throat that apparently took 10 hours to complete. If you don't know who Gabbie Hanna is, where have you been, Loca? Gabbie is somewhat of a controversial individual online, having initially come up on Vine back in the day. And honestly, I feel like it's a literal curse to have gained popularity from Vine. You're just inevitably going to crash and burn in some huge public scandal. Vine died and then left behind just a trail of problematic people for us. And Gabbie Hanna is no stranger to public online scandals, but honestly at the moment I do feel for the girl because she's clearly dealing with a lot mental health wise, strangers breaking into her house wise, dealing with the LAPD. So girl's got a lot on her plate, but today we're mainly just focusing on her throat tattoo because honestly the throat tattoo is now a meme in itself. If you're new here, my name is Sel EST. I'm on a journey towards becoming a tattoo artist myself, and I make tattoo related content right here every week. So let's dive right in. So there's one video of Gabbie's in particular that's kind of at the center of this whole throat situation. And it's not really the original video, but it's all of the stitches to that video. So we're gonna watch a few of the stitches now.
Stag beetle represents the triumph of good over evil and the infamous metamorphosis into a...
I've got a pair of scissors and a frog because I'm a duck.
Represents the triumph and the infamous metamorphosis into...
I have this lobster on my belly because lobster.
of good over evil and the
The tater bug tattoo represents I love tater bugs.
That's my favorite one. I love Hawk.
the infamous metamorphosis into...
I have Gojo on my bicep because I want him to fuck me.
Alright, Jesus Christ. That's enough stitches. There are so many stitches to this video. We could sit here all day and watch them, but you get the point. In the original video, Gabbie's just going through every bug and explaining the huge significant meaning this has for her life. And there's nothing wrong with wanting your tattoos to have significant meaning to them, but there's something about the way that Gabbie is going about this explanation that feels a little bit much. It feels a little exaggerated. It definitely is very extra. It reminds me of, how like when people lie, they feel the need to like fill you in with just so much detail about the lie, just like the most amount of detail. And you're like, why did you give me that information though? Why are you telling me all of this? It feels like all of the extra compensation lacks genuineness. It doesn't feel genuine. And to be fair, Gabbie is really just answering the question that was asked of her, because someone asked, like, why did you choose these bugs in particular? But I do think that there's something about Gabbie being so heavily involved in drama over the years and being such a controversial individual that causes people to maybe unfairly make fun of her for things that maybe they would let slide with other people. Okay, so we're getting back to the neck tattoo, and Gabbie says that she's been working on this since December, but I haven't found any videos of her posting about it before June, and she posted this one on the 20th.
I had another consultation for my neck tattoo today. I love this. I love this concept. The stag beetle is so symbolic, and it feels like it was a gift from God to me. However, this shape is so sexy on my neck. What do you think?
So I think she's just like playing around with temporary tattoos that she bought. And then in response to a comment on that video, someone said, mix the two. So like almost a chain of bugs, beetle on top and a wider bug, perhaps a butterfly above the middle, forming a slight cross type shape maybe to it. And then Gabbie had to say this.
Okay, so almost everybody wants me to get the thinner second choice. And the thing is, I understand. So here's what I'm gonna do, I think. I like this. This is like a little moon, star, sun situation. Butterfly bee. Let me take this beetle, shrink it, so it'll come up to about here, but it'll be narrow, and then I'll just continue it up with like a dragonfly or some shit. So give me a minute. Ooh, a snake. This is actually part of my original plans. I had like a bee and a honeycomb, and then I had a rose here that I originally had, I think, a snake wrapping around. Yeah, I had this up here, but it got a little too bulky. So let me see what I can do. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so there's definitely a lot that she was saying in that video, but what I think is interesting is that she seems to be kind of just like taking clip art or like random drawings of different bugs and placing them on her neck, which is fine to like get an idea of what you want, but generally I wouldn't recommend doing this if you're not a tattoo artist. Like, this is kind of the tattoo artist job. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt that she just wants to figure out where the bug should go, but I already know that she brought the exact design of what she wanted and had the tattoo artist just copy that. Yeah, so generally I would not recommend doing this because the artist is essentially just copying random images of bugs you found on the internet at that point. But let's move on. So someone in this video commented, "Ain't no way she gonna sit through that pain." And this is what Gabbie said.
First of all, cosmic lavender. That's actually a really cosmic sign for me. I will sit through the pain because I want the tattoo. And also, my anxiety has ceased, which means my pain tolerance has gone up. Look at this fucking...
I've never heard a correlation between anxiety levels and pain tolerance, but maybe that's a thing. And then someone said that's an awesome design, to which Gabbie posted this video.
I finally finished my tattoo design. I'm so fucking excited about this. I feel like I need to keep disrupting it because I don't want anyone to steal it. If you steal it, fuck you. You won't pull it off like me anyways. But wow, I'm so excited. I'm gonna levitate out of my fucking body when I get this tattoo done. This is fucking sick.
So Gabbie said that she like designed this, and I mean, in a way she put together images that she found. So I guess you could call that designing. But there's a lot of things that a tattoo artist probably wouldn't put in this tattoo. For instance, all of the very thin lines that are all so close together. If she came into our shop and she wanted to get this done, our artist probably would turn her down because of how tiny the lines are, and that's going in the center of your throat, so those are going to blur out pretty quickly. Also, Gabbie is kind of exhibiting behavior of like a bad tattoo client already. I can already see that Gabbie is very particular about this design. Like, she's photoshopped it onto her own neck. You can tell that she wants this exactly on her body. And like we saw before, these are just images clipped from the internet. Like, she didn't draw these. A tattoo artist didn't draw this. She just put it together and calling it a tattoo design. Micromanaging your tattoos, not being a tattoo artist, is just a bad idea. And then we have this video that is never spoken about again, but this is kind of interesting. So Gabbie responded to this comment, said, "It's gonna look so good, can't wait to see."
So remember that neck tattoo that I was designing? It turned into a full body, full frontal tattoo. You wanna see? So it now is gonna start at the bottom of my chin. This will go right under the V in my neck. This will go in between my boobs, and then hopefully this will land right under my boobs.
It's just funny because this is nowhere near a full body, full frontal tattoo. And it's crazy how Gabbie just tends to like speak on things. And like, she's now designing this full body, full frontal tattoo. And it's like, no, you're not, girl. You're taking images from Google and just plopping them into a Photoshop file. And you're calling it a tattoo design. And I guess she trashed this design because we don't hear about the full body, full frontal tattoo ever again. And then someone commented, "Why don't you go to that place that after a year it disintegrates? I think it's called ephemeral tattoo." I have an ephemeral tattoo that is slowly disappearing, but not fully disappearing, and I don't even know if it's going to disappear. I have a highlight on my Instagram where I talk about the fading of that tattoo, if you're curious. Right now, I'm on month 9, and it's still there. But I think an ephemeral tattoo would actually be a great idea for Gabbie, but this is what she had to say about the ephemeral tattoo.
I actually did consider this, but then I was just like, ugh, if I love it, which
hopefully I'll love it. Do I really want to do it twice? Because it is probably going to be like a few hours of sitting and getting it done. And I think as I was watching it fade, it would just be another thing that I have to maintain. Like my whole life right now is trying to be zero fucking upkeep and maintenance. Like I don't do my nails. I haven't dyed or bleached my hair because I don't want to keep up with it. I just keep kind of dyeing like the tips as I want to. My life that I'm seeking and what I've been seeking is I want to be able to wake up in the morning, brush my hair, brush my teeth, wash my face, and feel like I can walk out the door and be confident. And I feel like I'm almost there. I feel like tattoos and jewelry and having clear skin and not fucking with my hair all the time has made me feel I'm on the toilet. I was trying to hide it, but I think that you guys knew anyways.
At the end, I was wondering what she said, but she said, I'm on the toilet. I was trying to hide it, but you guys know. So I feel like a tattoo actually requires more upkeep than an ephemeral tattoo. Because an ephemeral tattoo, you just leave it and it fades and doesn't really matter what you do with it because it's going to go away. But with a normal tattoo, you need to protect it from the sun. You need to heal it, keep it moisturized. Especially when it's in the center of your throat, you really need to make sure that doesn't get infected. So like I see what she means, but also I don't see what she means at all. And the fact that she's wanting to get a super fine line tattoo on the center of her neck, but she doesn't want to go twice, like that thing's gonna need many touch-ups over the years. So she's gonna need to go in no matter what if she wants this throat tattoo on her. I feel like sometimes with the internet, people feel like they know enough about tattoos to be like, this is my tattoo, I'm designing it, and I'm only gonna get it once and it's gonna be perfect. But it's like, you should really just talk to a professional about this. So the day before Gabbie's appointment, she posted this video being very nervous about her neck tattoo.
I'm a bundle of nerves. Can we talk about it? The first thing I'm nervous about is my neck tattoo. I have my appointment tomorrow and I'm so excited. I love the design, but of course I'm like, am I gonna fuck up everything?
And then the text on screen says, am I about to make a major mistake? If you feel this way the day before your tattoo appointment, I would just recommend pushing the appointment 6 months down the line. It's normal to have nerves before a tattoo appointment, but especially with the center of the throat, you should feel 100% confident that this is the right decision for you. So just based on her attitude the day before, if I was her tattoo artist seeing this, I'd be like, don't come in. Don't come in tomorrow. Give it 6 months. We'll still have the design. And then most people in the comments are saying, if you're nervous, don't bother. It's not worth it. I don't think it's a good idea. Some people are saying you should wait a year. Some people are saying that she's rushing into it. And honestly, I agree with most of these comments. And people on that video were also saying that she's not going to go through with the tattoo. And this is what she had to say about that.
I'm offended a little bit. Because there were a lot of comments on this TikTok of people being like, she's not going to do it. I always follow through with everything I've ever said I was going to do. Especially when it comes to like, this shit, what the
I think Gabbie's just in such a bad place. And it's really obvious from this video. Like, she feels the need to like defend her tattoo and be like, I'm serious about this. I'm going to get it. I'm going to do things. Like, I stick to my word. And this is where I think like social media and tattoos is like bad. Because clearly she's going to jump into this no matter what. And people saying she's not going to do it online is going to make her jump into it even faster. Into this decision that she's already freaking out about. So yeah, this is just a bad situation the day before your throat tattoo. Okay, and then Gabbie went on to make a few videos explaining her reasoning and explaining her feelings before going into this tattoo.
Okay, so I actually would love to talk through this with you guys because I think I got to the root this morning of what I was freaking out about with the tattoo. So I know getting a neck tattoo is like it's a bold choice and it's definitely a commitment. So I am getting really nervous as it approaches, but I've already talked through this with myself so many times and I forget. And when I start second guessing myself and I'm not confident in myself or I don't believe in myself, I start forgetting all of the conversations I've already had with myself because I don't trust myself anymore. But here's all the reasons that I really want a neck tattoo. After I started wearing those temporary tattoos, I feel naked without something on there. There was something about putting it there that made me feel almost like less vulnerable. Like my bare skin, so much bare skin makes me feel almost like naked. Even if that's why I wear sunglasses a lot too. Like I just want to feel covered. And when I have that neck tattoo on, for some reason, it just makes me feel so confident. My ultimate goal has always been to try to feel, when I'm absolutely naked, no hair, no makeup, not even clothes, I want to feel so confident. The tattoo itself has a lot of meaning. Each bug that's a part of the design holds like a pretty deep, significant life lesson or message, I guess, that I want to carry with me and look in the mirror. And every once in a while remind myself, even once I've been wearing this tattoo for so long that it almost becomes as natural to look at as my own skin, I want to still look at my neck tattoo and say, what was that beetle? Right, that's why you got that beetle. What was that bee? Right, that's why you got that bee. That's why you got that butterfly. That's why you got that black widow. That's what the sun means to you. All my tattoos are lessons and reminders to myself.
I can really empathize with Gabbie in that she feels like without the tattoos, she's naked, and with them, she's not. If it makes you feel more confident, I think that's very reasonable. This video makes sense to me.
To me, it feels like, dude, the stag beetle means the metamorphosis into a musician. I did not know that. And then I accidentally, because I ruined my butterfly stencils that I got, had to use a stag beetle. So I was just like, let me see what it'll look like, size and shit, to have something on my neck. And then I Googled the meaning, and it was the triumph of good over evil and the metamorphosis into a musician. And like on the throat chakra, like to have that beetle there, like that to me means, like that felt like a sign to me that I would ruin 3 butterfly appliques, randomly use this beetle that I didn't even know the name of, and it would have such a direct and impactful and specific message to what I was meditating on and praying for, which was to fucking use my art as a musician and a visual artist to be able to spread wealth and make cultural movements that would redistribute power and wealth and security.
Okay, we really just dissolved into stream of consciousness there. I couldn't really follow that, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, and then someone said, with so many talents that you don't need to worry about a 9-to-5 job, but getting it means that there's no room for failure in the sense. And this is what Gabbie has to say.
Thank you for saying this, because that's actually another one of the reasons that I was like, just get the fucking tattoo. Because I feel like, for so many reasons, stamping my own neck permanently with my own artwork is just like, you got this, bitch. Like, you believe in yourself, your work is good, you are an artist, you will never have to go somewhere that won't accept you because of that. No matter what, like, as what goes on with time, like, if I need to add to it, if I end up having my entire neck covered at some point because, like, this one aged or whatever, like, I'd figure it out, because all of my art, music, paintings, literally everything is based on a series of mistakes. I feel like that's my entire ass life is a series of mistakes.
I almost feel like Gabbie's like hinting to the fact that this is a mistake and she knows it, but she's gonna do it anyway. Like that one before where she had the text on screen, and like this video where she's saying my life is just a series of mistakes in relation to the tattoo that she's about to get. And I don't think that this is how people should be talking about getting tattoos online. Especially throat tattoos. I feel like it almost puts a message out there that like people who get throat tattoos are making mistakes, they're rushing into their decisions, they're not thinking things through. And this is kind of like a prime example of that. So it's very worrying, honestly. Okay, so the next day we get a video from Gabbie, and it's her in the tattoo studio with the neck stencil and with her hands being tattooed. I would love to know what studio this is, but I cannot figure it out, and no one has put the @ in the comments for the artist. So Gabbie decided to also get her fingers done. I don't know if that was a spur of the moment decision or if she had that planned as well. I hate to say it, but genuinely there is a stigma against people who go into a tattoo studio who have very few tattoos and they want very visible parts of their body tattooed. And it's like, do you really care about the tattoo themselves, or do you just want people to see you with a throat and finger tattoos? And I hate to say that like I would judge Gabbie in this situation, because I don't think it's necessarily fair to judge people like that for their choices, but maybe I am judging her a little bit. I don't think you have to earn your tattoos, but I think it does show when you are getting tattooed for shock value versus getting tattooed because you actually love and enjoy tattoos. That's all I'm going to say about that. And then the next day she posted a few videos of her tattoos, and she's doing a lot of like stretching and moving her neck, which I mean is not great for the healing of these tiny fine line tattoos. I mean, the tattoos look well done. They're very fine, super detailed. They look exactly like the design that Gabbie made. And then she showed her finger tattoos, which just say bonus round. And then someone in the comments said, not to be rude, just confused how it took 10 hours, maybe 2 or 2.5, or is the neck just that different to tattoo? And this is what Gabbie had to say.
So it did definitely take substantially longer than it could have, but I was very anxious with placing the stencils, and as we were doing each element, going in with a little fine tip marker and making small corrections to give it the most centered look, because human anatomy is not perfect. So you have to make sure that where you place it is going to look the most center the most times. So like in different positions, as I stretch or come back down, it might look a little off center, or sometimes this butterfly might move a little right, sometimes it might move a little left, depending on how my muscles are strained. So there was a lot of thought and precision that went into it, and also a lot of fucking anxiety.
Honestly, Gabbie sounds like the worst tattoo client of all time. And you can really tell from that video where she had the stencil on her neck, like there's a lot of blurring where the stencil was, and there's a lot of like lines and dots and stuff. So I can just imagine her sitting in the tattoo studio for so long, just obsessing over every little thing. And she didn't even let the tattoo artist design this tattoo. She brought in her own design, which is like, come on, girl, just let the professionals do their job. And what really sucks is if Gabbie really was taking all that time to get the stencil on, like your tattoo artist isn't going to charge you for that. They're likely only going to charge you for the time that they're actually tattooing. So it's like you just wasted this whole day for this artist, which is just such a bummer. Yeah, and then one of the top comments says, sounds like a tattoo artist's nightmare, making them just trace something you trace yourself, then picking apart every line as they go. Sheesh. I mean, that just really sums it up very well. And then someone said, imagine the shock if you had not been experimenting with those temporary tattoos. And Gabbie said this.
I cannot tell you how happy I am that I wore those temporary tattoos for so long. After I wore them for a couple days, I literally went to a tattoo artist to do them on the spot, and then the vibe was just not right, so I left. And then I worked on the design a lot more. So
okay, I'm pausing there because I can just imagine Gabbie going into a tattoo shop with temporary tattoos on her neck and being like, can you guys just tattoo this? And then being like, no, we have to have someone draw that for you. And her just being like, oh, bad vibes, I gotta go. And then she went and found someone who would just copy exactly what she wanted to do.
I think that everything happened the way that it was supposed to, and you're absolutely right. Like, if I'd not been wearing those temporary tattoos for so long, like, this would be a massive shock. And because this is permanent on my neck, there comes like a certain different mental thing of like, I can't wash this off. It has to be like this, or like, is this really what I wanted? But at the end of the day, I just keep reminding myself of how much I fucking loved wearing those massive temporary tattoos, and how much I couldn't wait to get a small, delicate version of that. So, yeah, I'm really happy for the time that I really took to just fucking really try it out. And when I didn't wear them, I fucking missed them.
I love that she's talking about how long she was wearing those temporary tattoos for, when it was like a few days, maybe a week. It's hard because there's, of course, going to be like anxiety responses with tattoos, but it does seem like there is really an underlying like thing that Gabbie's saying where she's like, I am feeling this way, where I'm like, is this right? I can't wash this off. But she's kind of like pushing it aside. She's pushing that down. So I don't know how much those feelings are just like temporary anxiety, or if it's like you genuinely rushed into this and you weren't sure if this is what you wanted. And then this is where we get Gabbie's infamous video where she's explaining why she got every single little bee. I'm not even going to play that video. It's so long. You guys can go look it up if you really want to watch it. She just explains like random stuff about bugs. So that's generally all of the tattoo videos that I want to talk about today. Gabbie does make a lot of like transition videos, her before the tattoo and after the tattoo. And people did kind of come for her for like Hot Topic Blossom with Manic Ink, goes to Hot Topic once, why is it getting worse? You look exactly the same. Why does every new style she has feel like a costume? The neck tattoo is her entire personality now. And genuinely, I understand where these comments are coming from because, like I said before, there's a lot of things that kind of point to the lack of genuine interest in tattoos and just kind of like getting this for shock value. And clearly she's not in a great mental state, but bringing a tattoo into it, especially a throat tattoo, is just so much. It's just so much. yeah, I honestly understand the negativity that she's getting, especially from people who are more heavily tattooed and do really appreciate tattoos, kind of coming for her in that she needs like this grand explanation for each of her tattoos, and how this does kind of seem like a costume that she's putting on. And I seriously worry that she jumped into this way too fast, calling it her own artwork when it's clearly not, forcing a tattoo artist to do this super small. Gabbie has just really put out there the best example on how not to go about getting tattooed and how to go about being your tattoo artist's literal worst nightmare. But you guys will have to let me know what you think about this whole throat tattoo debacle in the comments down below. Do you think Gabbie's acting out for attention? Do you think the throat tattoo is something that she might regret? Or do you think this is her totally being genuine and this is something she really vibes with? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments down below. But if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you have, leave me this emoji in the comments so that I know that you are a real one. Bye everyone.